We are learning new details about the Justice Department's investigation into former President Donald Trump's handling of classified documents after leaving the White House. NBC News has learned exclusively that the federal grand jury hearing evidence in the case is expected to meet again this week in Washington, D.C. That is according to multiple people familiar with the investigation. They say activity for the grand jury appeared to have slowed in recent weeks. Prosecutors working for special counsel Jack Smith have been presenting the grand jury with evidence and witness testimony for several months, but it is not clear if prosecutors are prepared to seek an indictment at this point. Prosecutors reportedly face two central legal questions. One, did Trump wrongfully retain classified documents after he left the White House? And two, did he later obstruct the government's effort to retrieve them? That's the big question. The Justice Department would not comment on the status of the investigation. Former President Trump maintains he has broken no laws and has dismissed the investigation as a politically motivated smear campaign. There are people who say, well, Biden did it. Well, Pence had documents.
No.
Point two is the difference.
Well, I mean, it's very clear. This is going to be a very easy case, and the pleadings are going to be clean, slick, to the point. Donald Trump obstructed justice. He obstructed the investigation. He lied. We're going to get to his lawyer's memos that came out that Jack Smith now has that are going to be devastating for the cause, Jonathan Lemire. But bottom lining this, again, let's just circle back. He's calling it a witch hunt. Other spokespeople are calling it a witch hunt. Lawyers are calling it a witch hunt. But you and I both know, based on people we've been talking to close to Donald Trump, they know this is not a witch hunt. Let me say the words, they feel, are you ready? The walls, everybody say it with me, closing in on this one. So yes, people can mock me for saying that, just like they mocked people on the show for saying it before the Manhattan DA came down with charges. But based on everything I'm hearing, Jonathan, based on what you're hearing, I at least last week, they are extraordinarily concerned about indictments coming down in this case because they know he lied and he got caught lying to the feds.
Yeah, one of the former president's ex-lawyers made the rounds on the Sunday shows this weekend. It was a performance of bravado, saying that he doesn't think that Trump will be indicted. But that stands in stark contrast with A, what most legal experts think, and B, what most of Trump's inner circle thinks privately. They are deeply concerned, Joe, the people you and I have been talking to, and the small signs are adding up. This report now from NBC that the grand jury is going to be reconvening again after having had a few weeks off, reconvening in Washington. The little development a week or so back that we talked about briefly on this show, but I think sort of flew under the radar, the letter from Trump's lawyers that Trump then posted on Truth Social asking for a meeting with prosecutors, a meeting with Attorney General Merrick Garland. Of course, he's not going to get a meeting with the AG, but that's the kind of thing you do. That's usually an end stage moment in an investigation when the defendants, potential defendants, attorneys think charges are coming. They try to make one last plea to ward them off, or at least to ask for smaller, less serious charges. And that is a sign of how worried the Trump's lawyers are. And there are similarities, I suppose, with the cases with Pence and Biden in terms of having documents they shouldn't, but those are superficial similarities that end quickly. Both Pence and Biden returned the documents. Trump did not. In fact, there's detailed reporting about the steps he has taken to keep them, to obstruct the investigation, to prevent the federal government from returning them. And the people I spoke to near the president feel like this could come and could come soon, a matter of weeks.
Yeah, and Rev, most of the people that I've spoken to that are part of this process say Donald Trump's not going to get charged for the same things, doing the same things that Biden and Pence did. Not going to get charged for that. He's going to get charged for obstructing justice, for obstructing the investigation, lying to the FBI, lying to the DOJ, doing the sort of things that put people in prison.
That is the same thing I'm getting from people with knowledge of the law. And when you have your lawyers go and meet with the prosecutor, it is usually because it's at the end and they're trying to negotiate how they're going to deal with the charges, or because you want to have your client go before the grand jury and testify. Well, the irony in this case is Donald Trump is going to testify before the grand jury. They're going to play a tape of Donald Trump saying himself that he had knowledge of what he was doing, and what he was doing was not declassified. So he's going to have the opportunity to speak. He just won't be there in person. He ran his mouth, and now his mouth will be heard, I believe, by the grand jury.